Britney, I've been letting you ride for the last few episodes. I've been letting you get away with this stuff for the last few episodes. But enough is enough, Britney. You are your own worst enemy. Match Will's energy. Stop begging him to be his person. Stop begging him to tell you what you want to hear. If he's not giving you what you feel you deserve, then you match it right back, Britney, and take the message. Enough is enough. You are your own worst enemy. Let's get into it.
But for me, I was like, yeah, we're connected, but I mean, I definitely think we could be more connected than that. So it's just...
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Also, please hype the videos if you have hypes left for the week. If you're interested in Squid Game The Challenge, I did do episodes 1 through 4 in a video. You can check that out, and I will have up the next 4 episodes by the end of this week. Anyways, today we are going to get into Married at First Sight Season 19, Episode 10, and baby, it's the Britney show. It's the Britney show. Let's jump into it. We start off and we find out this is the couple's retreat. So we get a montage of everybody packing except Pat and Rhonda. They are actually going to be going to some kind of family retreat with Rhonda's family. Again. For Rhonda talking about the whole world being around Pat and all of this stuff, y'all are going to the couple's retreat because you guys are going to a family retreat with your family. Okay, anywho, let's get on over to the mansion. So all the couples start arriving. Megan and Derek are the first to arrive.
Really early in the whole pregnancy.
Go check the bathroom out.
It's too early yet to have the first doctor's appointment where they do the ultrasound.
They are not planning to tell any of the other couples that they are pregnant. They don't really want to talk about it yet, but they do try to scope out which room will be the best, the biggest, so that way Megan can get enough sleep. Then they decide they're going to get these little noise makers that make cat noises, and they're going to put them in everybody else's rooms to prank them. Jaylen and Josh arrive next, and they hear the cat noise in their room, and they're just trying to figure out what is going on. And then Chad and Belinda and Will and Britney arrive shortly after. So they break up into guys and girls.
Differentiate the types of love. There's brotherly love, which is agape. There's eros, which is physical or sensual love.
Find that in other places. I don't have to go camp for 10 days to find it or feel like that's where I can get it best.
But he doesn't understand.
The guys are outside and they are talking about what their decisions will be on decision day. Chad and Derek, they are saying it's a definite yes, no question about it. Then Will goes on to another monologue about how there's so many different kinds of love. He tries to differentiate between them all. I think somewhere in there he says he has some love for Britney, but he's not in love with her yet. Okay. The girls are inside talking, and Britney says sometimes she feels like Will is all in, but other times he'll do stuff and she's just completely unsure. And then Jaylen gets on to the Burning Man disdain and everything that they have going on. And I guess they're still talking about communities and what are communities. And Jaylen is trying to say that she knows how to bring communities together to Josh. Josh just does not see these communities that she's discussing as actual communities. So Jaylen breaks off with her mom, Belinda, to talk about it. Her mom basically tries to explain to her that Josh is not used to the communities that she feels are communities being actual communities. He's so fine-tuned to finding people through these festivals that he goes through that for him, everything else is not a thing. And again, this Burning Man thing is absolutely ridiculous. Josh is being a big baby. If you want to go to your little festival where you burn down a wooden man, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's nonsensical. And for that to be the only thing in your life that you see as a community, I have questions, Josh. I have a lot of questions. Jaylen feels really upset, and she feels that Josh does not appreciate her or see the beauty in the things that she can do as well. And again, I respect it. This is a big man baby. Talk about he can't go to some festival where they sleep outside. If you like it, go. And that's the thing that kills me is that Jaylen never said that he can't go. Josh is just throwing a tantrum because Jaylen's not conforming to exactly what he wants. When we've seen Jaylen try out a lot of other things that he's more comfortable with than she is. I just don't get it. Dinner rolls around and the meowing is still going on and everyone's trying to figure out what the heck that noise is. But people start going around the table. They start talking about what they love in each other. Derek goes first and he loves that Megan has a great sense of humor. She's very smart and they have shared passions about real estate. Megan says something very, very similar. Now, Britney goes next and she says she loves about Will that he's uniquely himself. The way his mind processes things and that he's an overall amazing human being. Will also returns a lot of those compliments and adds that Britney has given him different perspectives on things. Chad says that Belinda glows, she's beautiful, she has a beautiful smile, she has a great sense of humor and feels safe with her. And he doesn't feel safe with that many people. Look, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm coming around to Belinda and Chad. I really hope that Belinda likes him because again, I still have my skepticism on Chad. I do. But they are the couple that, at least to me, I feel like has a lot of potential in this whole thing. So I want it to be true on both of their sides. Everybody starts to shed a tear and Jaylen says, look, I don't care how my experience went on this whole thing. All I wanted was for my mom to be happy. And she's very emotional. It was very cute. Everyone's crying at that table. I'm like, okay, Chad, you know how to speak it, but be about it too. Josh and Jaylen back in the room. It's still tense from Burning Man. Let's remember, it's Burning Man. So Jaylen basically says that she feels like community is very simple for her, that she tends to bring people together and it's not really hard. It's just natural with her personality. And she feels like Josh does not appreciate that and see her for who she is.
Like much of a chance to see it. We've not really
that's
brought a group of friends together.
That's what irritates me is when you say you don't see these parts.
Josh says for him that he's still processing and comprehending that this is community. He basically says that he hasn't really seen her bring people together the way that she claims that she does. Jaylen's like, okay, but I brought our friends together. I brought our families together. So what exactly do you mean? And he's like, well, I don't know. For me, I don't really look at that kind of stuff as community. I don't even look at it when I hang out with my two friends as community. And I'm like, Josh, are you okay? Hanging out with your friends is not community? Your family? I mean, we know Josh's family has their stuff, but you don't see hanging out with your friends as a form of community? Yeah, I don't know. Josh is definitely one of them weird guys that goes to this edgy stuff and he thinks he's so unique and he thinks he's so different and he's part of such a cult community. It's weird. This Burning Man stuff is getting weird. This alone would make me want to back on off of him. Jaylen continues and is like, I even brought you to a spin class. And he's like, oh yeah, I don't know. I just kind of felt that was more of a friend hangout. Josh is pretentious. He's very pretentious. He's definitely, again, one of those people that's like, I'm so edgy. I do different stuff. I don't do that, that normal stuff that you do. He's very pretentious. That's what I noticed in a lot of this conversation. So Josh then starts to go on again and talk about how he has not found any communities outside of Burning Man. They go back and forth for a while. And once again, Josh tries to be like, you're cutting me off. Can you let me finish my thought? Mind you, Josh is dominating this conversation. Josh is talking a lot, and the things he's saying are nonsensical. It does not make sense what he's trying to say.
That's what you referred to as community.
It is community.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm doing my best to understand. I'm learning this.
Jaylen gets very emotional. She starts crying and she says, all I needed from you, Josh, was to see me for who I am. All I needed you to see is that I can bring people together, that I can bring communities together, that this is my personality. This is the person I am.
We're gonna go in circles 100 times right here.
Josh, no, we're not. I'm saying.
You keep cutting me off, okay?
Oh my God.
Are you gonna let me finish my
I
thought?
can't do anything with you, dude.
And again, I get it. I get the frustration. Your only community is Burning Man? The only thing that makes you feel a sense of community is sleeping out in the desert and burning a wooden man? Go see the lady, Josh, because that's not normal. That you don't think a spin class is a community. That you don't think hanging out with your friends is a community. That you don't think hanging out with family is a community. It's one thing if you say, I'm not as comfortable with those people, but even still, when you go to Burning Man, I mean, yes, I imagine that a lot of the same people show up yearly, but there's also different people every time. And then I understand Jaylen's point from last episode where she said, you wait once a year to be able to do something with a community? And the rest of the year, you're just waiting for that and nothing else fulfills that? It's weird. Josh then tries to be like, I understand that you're kind. I understand that you're a great person, that you could bring your friends and your family together. For me, it's just eye-opening because I did not register those things as different kinds of communities, but now I see that they are. They eventually hug it out again, but I'm like, Jaylen, you need to keep your eyes all the way open because this man is weird and pretentious. I'm just gonna say it. Nighttime rolls around, we see Derek and Megan talking, and they're both just happy that it was a chill day. No one really pressured Megan to do anything, because as we know, she's secretly pregnant right now. And they kind of see all of the other couples. They show them on the diary cams finding the noisemakers and figuring out that it was probably them that put it there. Also get a diary cam of Pat and Rhonda at Rhonda's family retreat, and they're having a great time. According to Rhonda, morning time rolls around. So we see Derek and Megan and Will and Britney, they are playing pickleball. They start to get into conversations about communication. As expected, Derek says they're doing well. They had to kind of learn each other's different communication styles, but now things are smooth sailing. Then we get on to Will and Britney. And Britney is kind of asking Will, do you feel like there's anything that I need to improve? Will tries to say that there's nothing wrong. There's really nothing for her to improve. And Britney's like, there's nothing? There's nothing at all? You don't think I need to improve anything? That's not real. That's not normal.
I just need to, like,
But I
is
mean,
there any...
that's not a thing for
You're
you to
basically telling me I'm
fix.
perfect, is
Sure.
what I'm hearing.
Okay, you're perfect.
But I'm not.
Now, Britney, for as much as I do understand that I think Will is checked out, and yes, he's just basically at this point putting a wall up. Stop pressing this man. If he doesn't want to give you anything, Britney, then you give him the same thing back. This is what I'm talking. Why are you here crying about, I'm not vulnerable, I don't do this? He's not vulnerable either. And if he's not vulnerable, give him the same energy back, Britney. I'm tired. But she continues to press him to say something that is wrong. So Will starts to say, okay, well, I mean, this morning you were in a bad mood and I didn't really know what was wrong. So it was hard for me to navigate those feelings. And she was like, oh my God, was that difficult? Was that a problem for you?
I appreciate her asking what specifically that she could change or do, but then she kept digging for me to come up with something that I don't like about her.
That's something for you to work on? And I'm like, here's the thing. This is the problem too. Britney, you press the man to say something and then he says it and you have a problem. You have to be able to identify this pattern in yourself. Because you beg and beg and beg and beg him to tell you something. And if it's not the way that you want to hear it, you start to act like this. So again, would I ordinarily think that Will's behavior is okay, the avoidant nature? No. But at the same time, I definitely understand that for him, he doesn't want to do all this. And he definitely doesn't want to do it in front of another couple. Megan and Derek are still here, by the way. Megan is whispering to Derek. She like, hey, this is awkward. Can we get out of here? Can we please? We need to get out. I need to exit this conversation. So at this point, Will is pretty tense and he's like, no, it's not realistic. There's nothing to work on. It's fine. He tries to shut it down, but Britney's already riled up. And this is what I mean. It's a toxic cycle with these two because there's no winning. There's no winning for anybody in the situation. Britney goes on and is like, but I'm obviously in a good mood now. I'm obviously here hitting the ball back and forth with you. So obviously I'm fine. And that's the thing. Britney doesn't listen. Britney needs to open up her ears because she does not listen. Yes, Derek or Will, sometimes he be talking in soliloquies and poetry and all kinds of things. But he was very direct here and Britney doesn't listen. She takes one little thing and runs with it as the entire thing, the entire situation. And that's bad. Girl, all he said is this morning you were in a bad mood. And you pressed him to say that. You pressed him to say he was in a bad mood. And now you think he feels that way forever. When he never indicated that. Britney. So Brittany and Megan and Will and Derek break off. Brittany and Megan talk, and Brittany basically talks about how Will claims he's such a good communicator, but he never actually says any of these things that he has a problem with. She never knows anything. So now she's starting to question whether or not he doesn't inquire or ask about her, let her know things, ask about feelings. They don't have these deeper conversations because he doesn't care or because he's uncomfortable. And at some point, Brittany, you realize it's both. It's both. It's both. So Megan is kind of like, yeah, I think he does need to definitely be more vulnerable. He should be able to open up. And Brittany is questioning that because he can't, am I his person? Am I his person? I'm not sure if I'm his person. I swear, if I hear I'm not his person one more time, I'm gonna lose it. So Will explains to Derek the reason that he doesn't like to say things often is because Brittany will hyperfixate on things and make it a bigger thing than it is. That is true. We have seen that. He says this morning what he told her is that when she asked him how he slept, he said, well, it was hot. It was a full-size bed. I was tossing and turning. And then Brittany heard tossing and turning? Oh, you think I'm tossing and turning? You thought I was tossing and turning? He's like, no. I said I was tossing and turning. And I believe it because we see Brittany here. We see that Brittany does not listen at all. Brittany hears what she wants to hear and then makes an entire thing. And she gets herself so worked up off of what she heard rather than what was actually said. Derek tells him, though, look, I'm a blunt person as well sometimes. So maybe instead of being so blunt, you should soften it up a little bit so that way she doesn't feel like she's being attacked. Also recognize that when she asks you questions and when she's trying to hear your feelings on things, that it's because she would like to connect. Jaylen and Josh, they go for a bike ride and then they stop at this little bench thing and they talk a little bit more about their situation. While the two of them are good, they do want to discuss how to go moving forward when they're in a situation like this. Jaylen doesn't want to feel like she can't react a certain way or like he's going to get really wound up due to her reaction. She goes on to say she doesn't want to feel like she has to filter herself and that she really, really needs him to stay calm in these situations and not be so reactive because for her, it made it feel like the situation was all about him and getting him calmed down rather than her being able to express her feelings. And I definitely understand that. Again, in relationships, you have to be able to acknowledge that your partner's not always going to agree with you. They're not going to see eye to eye with you. They're not always going to have the exact same opinion as you. And you can't be villainizing or sitting here and having a meltdown because of their opinion and their perception. You can't force somebody to be a mold of what you want them to be. Relationships are about compromising and seeing in the middle. And yes, allowing people the safe space to express themselves. So I did like that. I thought that was super mature from Jaylen. I think she articulated very well what she needs from Josh. And let's just hope that he can actually do it. So back at the mansion, Brittany and Belinda are sitting by the pool and Brittany is opening up about how she does not feel like she is Will's person. She just doesn't feel like he can open up to her. And she doesn't understand why he can't open up. And then Belinda was a lot because she was like, well, yeah, I know he can open up to Chad. So I don't understand what the problem is. She's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I want to be his person so bad, but I'm just at a point where I feel like I'm not his person.
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's me in my head that I should probably get out of my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, Brittany, did they give you a few too many drinks or something, girl? Because what is going on? What is happening? Brittany is literally a mess. She is falling all over herself, sobbing because she doesn't think she's Will's person. Girl, what does that even mean? I don't know. Brittany, it sounds like you heard that on some kind of movie or something. Oh my God, yes. Everything will fall together and I will be his person. Because what does that even mean? We're adults. Being adults. What does being his person mean? We all have multiple people. Being someone's person means that y'all both want to put the effort in. You're compatible. You have attraction. There are so many factors that encompass being someone's person. Stop. You sound like you're 10 years old. So Jaylen joins this conversation and Britney continues to talk about how she feels like she's not getting from Will what she's giving. And again, so match someone's energy then. Don't give someone more than they give you. Belinda says, well, maybe it's because he overanalyzes everything and he's in his head that he's not able to just express himself. Maybe he's a slow burn. I'm like, child, after Love Island, I never wanted to hear that one again. Jaylen points out, but maybe if he did more, Britney wouldn't feel this way. And I'm like, no, Jaylen, no. Britney would feel this way no matter what, because Britney has a lot to work on internally. But Belinda says, no, that's not true. And the fact is, Jaylen and Belinda are going back and forth talking about the relationship while Britney's just sitting on the chair in the scene crying. She's literally just on the chair crying as the two of them are going back and forth about what's wrong with Will. Belinda says, no, he's doing it his way until he learns how to do it her way. And at the end of the day, though, relationships are not about doing a list of what the other person wants. That's not what it is. So her way is being ogled over every single second of every day. If this man doesn't tell her every day, I want to be with you, I want to marry you, I want to be married to you, I want to say yes to you on decision day, you are beautiful, you are special, you are the only person for me, you are my person 100% all the time, I'm never mad at you, you don't do anything wrong, Britney loses it. It's not sustainable. Will and Britney, they're back in their bedroom. Will apologizes to Britney for not letting her know that he thought she was upset this morning.
And eventually saying something. I'm like, well, just tell me. You can tell me things in the moment.
I think that's probably where our thought process kind of changes because I honestly didn't think it was a big deal. And it was almost like, okay, well, I got to give her something.
He claims, though, that this was not that big of a deal to him. He wouldn't have held on to it for this long. And they hug it out. Then Britney's like, I just don't know, though. I feel like, is there a reason why you can't open up to me? Is there some kind of, like, I'm just trying to figure out why you can't be vulnerable. There has to be some kind of reason. Will's like, okay, what does vulnerability and opening up mean to you? Britney says, I don't know. I just sometimes wonder if you trust me enough. I just wonder if you trust me enough to be able to open up. Will's like, okay, so do you feel like me not trusting you and then not being able to open up led to this situation? And she's like, well, I considered it. I considered it. I did. I just want to know why you're not comfortable with me. I was wondering if you care enough. But now I realize you do care. I do realize that you care now. After you hugged me and after you hugged me and told me how great I am and you boosted my ego yet again, now she realizes how much he cares. Man, I gotta come out of character because I'm tired. So Britney asks, do you think I'm your person? Do you think I'm your person? Do you? And he's like, well, the connection could be stronger. This is exhausting. This is exhausting. And I'm not even with these two. I would lose my mind being with a person like Britney. No. Do not subject people to relationships if this is going to be the way you're going. I'm sorry. This is exhausting. You would think this answer would be enough for her, but just wait on it. We are not done with the Will and Britney saga. So we get a diary cam of Pat and Rhonda, and we find out that Pat surprised Rhonda with concert tickets. So Rhonda said, oh, he never told me about that. He never checked in with me about my calendar. So then she claims that she suggested to Pat, hey, let's share calendars, and she was telling him how to do it. So she claims in the middle of a store, Pat walked away as she was trying to explain that they should share calendars to ask if they had rubber gloves, because I guess they were picking up things for the little paint pouring thing that you see that they're doing. So Rhonda claims that she didn't say anything at all because she was afraid of being accused of scolding him or talking down to him. Rhonda is a piece of work. I'm so glad we barely got Rhonda seeds because I'm tired. This man surprised you and you're complaining? Rhonda finds a problem with every little thing. If Rhonda's not the center of attention, if Rhonda doesn't initiate everything, if everything's not about Rhonda, it's a problem. Like what? I would walk away from you too. If I tried to surprise you and your first thing is to start scolding me and chastising me and talking down to me about, because we know Rhonda did say, oh wow, honey, that's awesome. In the future, you know, can we share calendars just to make sure that we can both do it? No, you know, Rhonda said, Pat, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. Okay, you know what? Maybe let's share calendars so next time I can actually know what's going on. Then you know she condescendingly talked down to him about how to use the Google Calendar, the Apple Calendar. You know she didn't say that stuff in a nice tone. I'm tired of Rhonda. So Josh and Jaylen, they get 100 water balloons to get back Josh and Megan and Derek. And I'm like, they're throwing them balloons at Megan. I thought Megan was going to lose it because she... You know she's pregnant, right? Instead, Megan is like, well, at least I can wash my hair. That's the thing that annoyed me the most, that I couldn't wash my hair again. So now at least I have an excuse to look cute for dinner. And I was like, you know what? Good sport. Good sport. I'll give it to her. Dinner rolls around and Britney is still not feeling good. So they all go around the table and they talk about the different things that they've learned in their relationship. As Britney's looking down, she's in tears. Everybody's going around. We keep seeing the camera pan back to Britney. So Will says that he learned that he needs to explain things greater. He then gives the example that earlier today, he said that their connection could be stronger, he and Britney. What he meant is there is a connection there, but it just could be a little bit stronger.
To like somebody who has such a big heart, and us women feel things.
Yeah.
I think she just really wants you to be there for her.
At this point, Britney's in tears. So the people around the room, some of the ladies, Megan and Jaylen, they're like, okay, Will, but what about affirming her first and then giving the critique? And in an ordinary situation, I would agree, right? Even when you go to couples counseling, this is what they tell you to do. Positive affirmation first, then you can go into what you want to improve. However, Britney is the type of person who will pick your words apart no matter what. He could have said 1,000 positive things and Britney would have picked apart the one negative and hyperfixated on it. I will give that to Will. I agree. I think that's the case. So everyone is trying to explain to Will. Will's like, but I thought that when I said, you know, the connection could be stronger, that already implied that there was a connection. They go into this back and forth argument, like not argument, but everyone at the table is trying to tell him that you could say something positive first, then say the negative. At this point, though, Britney gets up. She goes to the bathroom. What?
This shit always fucking happens to me.
Why does this always happen to me? Why does this always happens to me? Everybody else at the table understood except for him what was going on. So Megan actually gets up and goes to check on Britney. She's like, you okay? And then that is the end of the episode. And I already said all I had to say because I've been ranting this episode. This has been a rant for a recap. So if you made it to this point of the video, that means you liked the video. So I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Please hype the videos if you have hypes left. And also check out my Squid Game, the challenge 1 through 4 video. The next one will be out later this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one.